what Conor has to do in this fight is be massively aggressive, massively angry. I keep saying it. He has to be that, but it has to be effective aggression. He can't be wild with it. Otherwise, he'll pay the price. He will, and the pay the price, he will be exhausted after 7-8 rounds if he doesn't get it right. But if he gets it right, you got an older man there who doesn't punch like he used to, and he could get him on the heels, under pressure, and maybe panicking, and maybe get that stoppage. But I think it's a big ask for him. I really do.
You mentioned that Iron Barkley fight. That was just down the road from where Conor Benn had his last fight, of course.
Yeah.
And he went 12 rounds for the first time. And look, he said he wanted to knock Peter Dobson out in 1 round. But the fact he went the full 36 minutes, do you think that'll be something he's pretty happy with now headed into this week?
No, not really, because they're just average performances. Listen, we can't dress them, just got to tell you as it is. They were average performances, and they went to the high standard he'd been setting beforehand. But ultimately, he won. And when you're winning on not good nights, it tells you everything you need to know about the fighter. If you can win on average nights and win well, as he done, it wasn't a good performance. Like I said, it was average, but he won well. You know, it wasn't close.
You know, my trainer used to have a saying. He's from Trinidad, and he used to say, better to win ugly than to lose pretty. So ultimately, winning is everything. So, and Tony's right. Once you win, winning is an art in itself, and it's a habit, by the way. So you know, because it changes your mind. You know what? Even when you don't win, even when you box underperform, and you still get that win, it means you can find your way through.
Believe you me, when he gets in the ring on Saturday night, he will be so sharp. It will be like it's two different people. What was in against Dobson and what's in again in the last two, but it will be it's a different animal. He'll be so sharp, so reactive, so his whole world is on this fight. And it's also the same with Chris Eubank Jr. The whole lives have brought them to this moment. Listen, no matter what they do after this, right, if they go on to win world title out, what? They're going to be remembered for what happens on Saturday night. This is their defining moment in their whole career. And it's very rare you can say that about a fighter that before it's happened, that you know this is their defining moment. I knew when mine was, Barry will know when his was. He might not want to think it is right now, I might believe it, but believe you me, this is both their defining moments on Saturday night.
It's interesting to see what he's doing here. I've been saying for the last few days, well,
what you've been saying.
How important it is to stay low.
Yeah.
But staying low takes a lot of energy because it's all your legs. You got to bend those legs and engage those big muscles in your body. But to stay low gives you the opportunity to do this.
So explosive, Barry.
Like, there's a semicircle on the front of your body. So that's the area you have to master to win the fight. And for Conor to stay low and move around that semicircle in front of the body is going to be so important for him, because that won't allow Chris Jr. to set his feet. And with that means Conor can unload with his punches in a relatively safe place. Plus the angle of looking up, which means he can punch through the middle and use those legs to come through the shots rather than just throw the arms. And to do that, he'll knock Chris off balance.
So sharp. So sharp. And I don't say that because of the punches, because he's put nothing in them punches. It's the movement, it's the fluidity and the explosiveness off the legs. Like Barry talked about, it's so hard to get low. Mike Tyson used to do it perfect, and against bigger guys you need to do it now. He goes in there with the Tyson approach. It's intriguing, and like I said before, Chris Eubank ain't holding this boy off for 6 rounds. The question for me is, can you absorb what he's going to give you in 6 rounds? That's the question.
But if he can't get Chris out there early, he has to do the hard work, but he is going to tire. But guaranteed, if he's going to do that, go low and explode into shots, Conor's going to tire, that's guaranteed.
No one can do it for 12.
But he's got to hope that his punches, or his aggression and his pressure tires Chris with it. So if you can do that, tire Chris also, then they're pretty much at the same level. So he can go on and be more successful. But if he can't tire Chris, if he can't intimidate him with his pressure, if the punches can't hurt him or make him panic, then after 7 rounds, it does become a fight of 2 halves.
Do you think Chris can get tired in this fight?
Most definitely.
You can tire him out just by being on him.
Chris can't throw the punches he used to before. He has to box in spurts more. He always did, but more than ever before. He can't throw 15 punches anymore. You got to throw in 4s and 3s.
How many rounds do you think Conor Benn can be relentless for out of 12? 8, 9?
Well, I think
young.
He is young, but the way he explodes, and a bigger guy who could have maybe absorbed the shots, maybe not around the face, just around the body in general. If we're talking about bigger guys, they tend to swallow the punches a little bit better. And it depends how much how hard Conor hits, by the way. And that's the thing.
How do you expect the power to carry up then on Saturday?
just think I don't think
that's been the big question.
It's not the one-shot power for me, it's the explosiveness of the shot. You won't see the shot, and that for me is more than any amount of power. If you don't see it, you're just... Jay, you've got to understand, like, you've got no say. If you get hit with a punch you don't see, literally 2.5 pounds of square pressure on the right foot, you go down. Like, that's not my opinion, that's science. If it hits the right foot, you just drop. Like, you open your eyes, your gloves are on the floor, you're down. And that's happened to me on a number of occasions, but I just think Chris Eubank Jr. is not going to hold them off.
But I can't see what Conor do. See, Liam Smith backed Eubank against the ropes because Liam Smith's a more intimidating figure because he puts his chest over the front foot and he'll feint, but he'll slide forward and the front foot puts you under pressure. I'm not sure Conor doesn't have the same smarts as Liam Smith, in my opinion, so he's going to have to explode in the shots. So I'm not sure how he can get him back into the ropes because he'll jump into his attacks, which puts Chris on the back foot, but allows Chris to spin off and get back into the centre of the ring, possibly. Possibly. This is all like theoretically, we haven't got a clue.
One half of your main event, brought to you by Ring Magazine. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Conor Benn makes his way into the studio. Braces, Tony Bellew. Conor, how are you, sir?
Good, mate. You?
Good to see you, mate. Very, very well. Beard's looking fantastic. Big smile on your face. How are you enjoying the whole occasion?
Mate, just lapping up. I'm enjoying it, man. Excited to be here. Excited to be back on these shores, man.
In terms of the energy that's come your way in the whole build-up, how have you dealt with that and all the verbals that have come from that man? If looks good, kill, by the way. But how have you dealt with all the energy that has come from Chris Eubank Jr.?
I don't think anything of it. I don't think nothing of it at all. You know, he's an opponent. That's it.
Barry?
Conor, we talk about fights like this. You know, all the training goes right for both. You're fit and as strong as you could possibly be. It's pressure. Coping with pressure. How do you deal with that with yourself? Do you have some sort of mantra?
You'll know what pressure is. A 19-year-old kid moving from Australia to the UK, walking out to a packed O2 arena with no amateur background. That's pressure.
So do you draw on that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, ultimately every fighter dreams of getting to this stage.
Yeah.
You know, and I've worked extremely hard. This isn't 6 months' work. This isn't 6 weeks' work. This is 10 years. You know, and I've done it too many times now for it to be an accident or be a chance. This is who I am. I live for this, you know. So for me, I don't feel no pressure at all. You know, I'm going to go in there and do what I do.
How itching are you, Conor, to get in the ring on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I was fighting tonight. But it's just one of them things where this is all now just long. And I just want to get in there now. That's it, really, man.
We spoke to Eubank yesterday. You won't care what he says, but all he was saying was the procedure will be parliamentary, that he's a better fighter than you in every single department. This win on Saturday, truly, if all goes to plan for you, have you thought about that emotion and truly what this victory will mean to you and to the Benns?
I don't know what the question is, but I'll get hold of him.
It's loud,